Radiant team pick. Reserve. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining.
I think most of his stomps. Alright. Bane is going to be the final support here for 4+1 Turtle. And Scenario thinking about what the last pick is going to be. It should be a support here. They actually have a very DS heavy team. Master Nature's Prophet, Wraith King, Viper. All of these are here. And their optimal damage output really rely on the right clicks. And it would be nice for Scenario if they got themselves a little bit of a nuke. I know I just said that they might want to get reliable stun, but even somebody like a Lena could be wrecking. Could be well, yeah, there isn't too much with regards to the success, and I don't really like him here, but I would like potentially a line, even though he's a little bit more out of meta, a little bit more field, so to speak. He would come here with a front of X, allowing him to kind of compete with that Bane with that hard disposition. The nuke force that he has would be effective up against someone like the Bane. Although 4+1 Turtle, they just have such a tank team, and Scenario has such a DPS oriented team. It's like that these two I do not like the lack of the Earthshake Centaur Warrunner and the Bane. The reinitiation potential is tremendous, and all that means is they are going to have to be very, very concerned about their overall positioning, they being Scenario, moving into the mid-game. They can't let anybody caught out by Nightmare, they can't let anybody get caught out by a Fissure. They need to be moving as a group, as a unit, knowing exactly where everybody else within their it's buddy system, basically. Everybody on the field trip needs to stay together. We can't move on until everybody is done in this room. That sort of mentality.
10 seconds remaining.
The runner is there have been some lag issues on the Dubai servers. Remember, this is a Dubai LAN, so we may have some significant pausing depending on whether or not those servers are still as much of a problem as they have. But hopefully we'll be able to get in some play now that we know this match. I just did wait through that duration with me. Know that it is early, late. Some of you, but MSI beat it qualifiers, and you know, shit, it's always on your casting, especially when you've been doing it for so long and no break. I guess I haven't been talking 20 like the whole time, but I'm working through the whole duration. So that being said, we are going to have a pause here, and the repause. Ooh, that clutch media repause coming out. Run through some of our players here. We're going to have Pixel reincarnating the evolution. Sat Factor is going to be making a quiet science. Oh no, it is going to be making it sick on. They're dipping around on the Scenario on the door. He's at one. Well, by the way, I've got to say I love their logo. Bunny Turtle. For 4+1 Turtle, we have The racer, who is also goes by, geez, should remember this. Ace. Yeah, Ace. He just goes by Ace. All right. So racer, sleeping on the bank. Hook beyond that death prop. Zane 007 is going to be taking that invoke. Yap Zor is going to be playing the Earthshake Victory. Going to be double edging on the Centaur Runner here. That's for once again 4 bunnies, 1 turtle, Radiant side. No items out yet, but this looks like a pretty standard try lane for both. Potential Pornograph Island out of scenario really want to play away. They could do the silencer with the silent and the last words. A potential stun coming out of the Wraith King and the Viper to harass, put the Master mid, but I think it would be much safer for them to throw that Nature's Prophet into the end. They're going to play a semi-roaming, safe lane position, and end up the Room Master farming position. They're looking actually like they are going to this aggressive try lane. They're looking like it might be even a Brewmaster. Tell because all the heroes are coming down here, so I do not too soon on this game. 40 is down in this bottom right quadrant, which is so much more common now than it has been, say, over the last 4 or 5 months. More highly prioritized, especially in higher levels of play and in the early game. This is the hold up. It's admin broke, and that is what we are all. Defensive tri lane. The Bane does very well in try-on situations because he does have that enfeeble, which is going to remove any real potential for CSing that a farming carry has. He actually gets pinged out by his team. He will end up picking it up though. He is sitting on top of boots, but there are also boots on the center War Runner who's off lane, which is not. And there's also been the Earthshaker, a little bit more uncommon if he's not going to be playing some off lane style. Okay, but don't again. We are just waiting through this game pause, and it's been a tournament of so far, this Middle East tournament. I appreciate your patience. We are up to move through. Once this is the MSI Beat It 2014 Middle Eastern Land qualifies. Boy, my name is Gordon Cap. You can catch my cat all over the place. I mean, I've literally cast 24 games for Join Dota the week in over the last, including like Saturday. Been quite a while. Cast is very where I am, and I'm gonna be to my neighbors and get some high action. At point in time, I'll bump up Octane, but I'll just figure all you guys into the cast as much as I do, especially if we're gonna have another like 70-minute long slugfest, which is what last game ended up being with Scenario. Lots of pinging. Pings the pings. Koreans are going to go and scout a little bit. They should move a little bit further forward just to make sure that this smoke. I get a feeling that Forerunner is probably going to pop one of these smoke. Viper looks like he might even become, which would be less than a smoke would be, or not Centaur Warrunner. Next to me, it's an Earthshaker. This Earthshaker could pop the smoke if it's just going up. Then he should be able to get a pretty easy fish lock on this ground spot. But hopefully this Viper is going to follow his team, move up down this way, turn around right here where the tree protector is moving in, have the tree down south, and see if they can grab something here. We're going to go in and get some wards, both sitting on top sides right now. has one. His victory has already gotten out and placed his ward and come back in the amount of time that it has taken Sonar to coordinate for a smoke and start to enter their opponent's jungle. Alright. Silencer is going let's see. Viper doing the 3 branches to get himself a little bit of set. Oh, and the rest of the team can come up and the entire team just back
30
out.
seconds.
Smoke rotation happens. Haste is going to be up on the Wraith King, though. Jeez, it's like he's chasing magical dragons. Those fairies aren't real. You'll never catch him, Pixel. Alright, he is now going to move on Hook. Nope, he's just going to run right through the lane. This is an error for the Wraith King. I have no idea why. Why run straight through the lane so your opponents can see you, rather than using the haste rune to come around this way. And a circle did. Extremely important at higher levels of play. The longer you can stay in Fog of War, the better. The more uncertainty you can sow into your opponents, the better. Just, I mean, it's so factual that it's obvious, and that in order to get over there, he did not give any, any hoots or hollers. He just ran straight through the lane, and Hook watched him do it. Death Prophet should be pretty comfortable in the lane. The Brewmaster is going to be able to get in and Thunderclap down, but he's going to be very bottled, and he is also going to be harassed out pretty frequently. Hook just kind of throw those Crypt Storms out, not get last hit with the range, and be able to harass Evolution, all at the same time. So I do think that Evolution is much more bottle dependent here, just because he needs to heal up his health and his mana. His mana for last hits and his health just to be able to sustain in lane. You can tell already. So they got that early buff, but only a super early buff, like a prioritized out of the found bottle on mid-racing call. Does seem to be working so far though, because it is about to reach him just as he hits a low point and needs to be healing up. So, not actually, and he's going to go get that invisibility rune, or he wants to, but instead, Ace just going to move through, grabbing that invis rune for the bottom and trying to move in off it. He's playing. Never mind. I was going to say he's really considered. He kind of came out pretty far, and Acer is just waiting for him to make a false move. Up top, flash up here just in time to see that Centaur go down. It looked like a combination of stun. Yep, Wraithfire Blast was used there. And why? Gloves of Wisdom. Why was that leveled? Why was that? Okay, this doesn't make sense to me. Glaives of Wisdom used to be whatever. It's not the. If you think you're going to get an early first blood, level Glaives of Wisdom used to be the case. I'm actually going to get bottom. Maybe I should stop talking about the Glaives of Wisdom for a second. Pay attention to the map. But Glaives of Wisdom used to be you did not get the Hook getting very far in for a reason that is unclear to me. It used to be that you don't get that intelligence, you don't steal intelligence, you get wisdom, but that's not the case anymore. The intelligence steal is actually part of the base model now for Silencer. So you don't need it early. The Curse of Silence is much more effective. or even last word, if that's the way you want to go for the nuke. The sudden nuke and disable rather than just the slow atrophy of mana. There's very little that hook could do if you got stunned there. Fortunately, very aggressive movements coming out of scenario give him plenty of time to react. I'll move the camera back. Hook is sitting on the high ground throwing out shots at evolution. There's going to be the rotation in from the Earth Shaker, and one more auto attack would do it. But dodge. Drunken Brawler, guaranteed dodge. Make sure that they absolutely need to kill him with the nuke, because unless they're going to be able to secure multiple hits on him, which is going to be pretty unlikely in the scenario where he is actively trying to run away from a stun, he should be absolutely fine. And he will bottle himself back up. He's got an illusion rune as well, so he's pretty... Actually, I think that was the clear announcer. Either way, taking a look at the light is way up on pretty well from Invoker. No, not way up on the profit. Looking like we have an engagement up top. They're starting to surround him. Victory taking a little bit of the orb walkie walk as well. But in the end, he's not giving them an opportunity to engage. Evolution getting very low. He does have Drunken Brawler dodge if he needs it. Sunstrike should be enough to clean this up though. Nice Sunstrike coming out of the Invoker. Good awareness. Good teamwork as well. This is well Invoker.
Dyer's
And he's
middle
starting
tower
to
is
crest
under
up
attack.
towards the top borders. In addition to getting that kill, Victory has died once up here. Trying to do what he can to steal the last from the high ground. And Viper is actually trying to come down from high ground. He's just not going to be able to catch up. It does have boot. He has finished treads. But it doesn't make a difference. It's just too much distance to close. Yeah. Invoker getting a sub 6 minute minus is a really good time on Invoker. Granted, this is a one slot Invoker and not a mid Invoker, which obviously changes the timing on that quite significantly. However, the fact of the matter is an Invoker is often pretty happy, pretty content to get that Midas out from 9 to 12 minutes. Getting it sub 6 minutes is just going to make his mid game insanely fast. He needs to get up to that level 9 as quickly as he can, because that is going to be that Forge Spirit push
Radiant's
that the boss,
tower
that
is
the
under
Exhort
attack.
Invoker is so well known for. Also, of course, is power up his Sunday globally much more potent as well. Potential pushing coming out from both lanes here. Top and bottom. And it looks like we have potential other rotation coming out of Jacob. Master is coming in, just trying to make sure he gets some last hits. He does have the Drunken Brawler, but on the high ground and out of sight during this night is Yapsor, who is land efficient. The Sunstrike is there, but a very nice play by Evolution, just being aware. And there's that Drunken Brawler. Try to follow up. He's going to build the Primal Split. Just in case. I don't think they realized that a Crypt Swarm available. There wasn't the mana for it on the Death Prophet. So he could have run that away. Die split for survival, which means not a skill that's going to be a push or team fight. Meanwhile, he's going to be aggressed on by the rest of his team, or the rest of the scenario. Pretty nice kill. Second kill on that off, really slowing down his nice Sunstrike. Really slowing down his potential for that Blink Dagger. Address is up on the Viper. He's getting very close to having a full mechanism up. Sub 10 minutes. Pretty good time. He's not going to get any actionable items right away in the early game, and Scenario would be in a pretty good spot to try and push through.
Under attack.
Potential right now it's not really being prioritized. It means he's towering quickly as but they are applying a fair amount of pressure. They're forcing rotations up to that lane. Giving Brewmaster maybe a little bit more space was good because he's died once. He's had to blow his ult once to try and save himself as well. Down here in the bottom lane, Grenade is this Wraith King is just running into his opponent's field of vision. There's no reason to win the lane. There's no reason to go up that way rather than coming around behind the tower. Absolutely no reason. Up in the top lane, coming around from behind the tower. Much more surreptitious evolution, making it half. So the Wraith King, his movements seem a little bit amateur, to be honest. He just doesn't seem to be that comfortable with moving around Fog of War, his vision line. Meanwhile, Evolution has been doing a pretty good job of it when he has rotated around. They are going to go and get the glyph for BT, thinking about defending presumably, or maybe they're just trying to buy time, make a trade happen. Death Prophet does not have an ultimate yet. She's level 8, and she has maxed out her witchcraft before getting exorcism and optimized the damage that she can do when she grabbed up. But of course, if she had gone for 3 levels of witchcraft and 1 level of exorcism, she would tower here. No.
Raid's tower has fallen.
To each their own. The Invoker is getting pretty close to his full staff. Taking a look at the rest of our items. Viper's still sitting fairly close to that mechanism, but not up yet. It's extremely low. There needs to be a response coming out of to get it low enough. It's not ideal to use that tower this early, because it is their primary response. If you're going to lose it anyway, you might as well deny it, right? That's what it comes down. Alright, well, meanwhile, they actually have taken a fair amount of aggression on their bottom tower as well. Evolution getting a little bit low from what appears to be a fissure that was shoved right up his, right up his alley. Back up a little bit himself. He has been getting a little priority. Prophet getting the last tower, really what you want to be getting stage in the game. If you were a lot more frightening than it really used to be. They have significant rotations into lane. They haven't done anything to try and shut down, and they didn't do it. In fact, Brewman sitting here does not try to deny it whatsoever. Alright, we just have a little bit of lag as we're moving in toward the mid game. Switching over, Joker sitting at just about the 6,000 mark. At about 5150 mark is going to be the 547.5 thousand, or 100 is going to be the Death Prophet, and it kind of trickles down from there. The supports are all pretty together in terms. That's honestly pretty nice for Scenario. Their supports don't need that much in order to be effective. The Science is an extremely effective hero in and of himself, but Wraith King has 2 lives and is extremely effective in of himself as well. The usually wants to get Blink Dagger. The Bane is usually going to want to get something else other than his innate abilities. Invoker not going for the 4F like I thought. It's actually going to go straight into Necronomic for the push. I actually like that choice a fair amount.
Tower is under attack.
They're clearly taking it into round. The Forge Spirits are now up for double off that level 9. And the alongside the Brewmaster Ultimate. And is going to go down there in the top right of the screen, and now Hook should be going down as well. Nice Nightmare is going to try and buy a little bit of space, but doesn't end making a difference. Pickle's going to go and throw out stun onto the Forge Spirit, just to try a little time to farm him out and not go down, but he will go down anyway. As Fisher comes here, managed to pick him off from the south side. Victory thinking about moving in. He does not have Stampede, nor does he have a Blink Dagger, so there's not a lot of effective ways for him to do it. And Acer is going to be caught out a little bit too far forward. Victory does have a stomp, but he doesn't really want to use it there, just back out instead. Giving Scenario a pretty nice exchange there. They are down to their overall exchange there. There's a 12-minute Midas coming out on the Nature's Symbol. Nature's Rock getting that Midas, which is arguably, depending on how you're going to do it, this probably not Blade Mail is probably a lot more of, just because there's no point in getting this if you're going to pick up a Blade Mail. It doesn't give you force of ability in and of itself, which means that Blade Mail doesn't compound with your previously bought item. It ends up being a waste. You actually get more survivability out of just getting something like a Force Staff to give yourself the maneuverability to survive, rather than that top tower is going to drop down to the exorcism. And once again, 4B trying to make themselves known across this map through the sheer power of their push. They're going to continue down that trend. The Viper is sitting on top of a mechanism now, however. The gold lead negligibly in favor of Scenario. It's not even worth mentioning. Still a very close game. We're going to hear the stampede, and that because there's vision right here, and Viper was coming in trying to do a little bit of the game. Hook, however, may not be so lucky to get away. Going to try to TP, he'll actually be able to do so. Pixel had a Wraith Fire last. Did not want to use it. Just wasn't interested.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Honestly, I'm being really underwhelmed with Pixel's play this game. He just does not necessarily see mates or
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
His own little world. We'll just back into it. It might just be lag issues.
Has fallen.
And that's what I'm going to blame it on for now, because we have been having a lot of complaints, lag issues between the other teams that have been competing here at the MSI. Beat it, Dubai LAN. Yeah, so we're sitting at about 1,500 gold, getting pretty close to his Blink Dagger, which will be the word go for him in terms of the playmaking moment. Exorcism is up in 10 seconds, so the tier 2s are going to be much harder tower set down. Try to move into Roshan. Roshan if 4BT doesn't move in and try to aggress there. The Wraith King makes it so that Roshan can be very easy with that Vampire Core. She's not scaling, which means never mind. I'm not going to move in early Roshan. You have the Treant. So they do have a amount of the tank, but they need at least one level of that Vampire Core before they go super confident just walking there, especially considering 4BT can just move in, Sunstrike for vision, block off the entry so nobody can get in or out, and then pretty soon it's going to be Centaur. Actually, Centaur is on top of a Blink. It's going to be Centaur Blink in. I don't think that Blink has been revealed yet, though. I'm not 100% sure. But they do end up finding somebody with that smoke, which doesn't look like they will, so Brewmaster is not that interested. When they do find somebody, though, that is going to be the moment of gore for Scenario. They almost certainly are going to lose somebody to that Centaur Blink. Unless they're just aware of the window time that it normally comes out and are aware that it's going to happen pretty soon here. Wraith King's going to save up a Blink Dagger as well. Once again, I just disagree with this item choice by this player specifically, who has been having so much trouble with the maneuvering in terms of optimal maneuvering or fog of war, make sure that he's pathing in smooth ways, getting good timing on stuns and good reaction time. It seems like a player that's been having trouble with that, even if he's a good player who doesn't normally have trouble with that, it seems like the optimal choice is saying, okay, I'm having the best game out in the best position right now in terms of my playstyle in order to support such a clutch play item as a player, something with some empiric aura and maybe pop drums or pop up urn, something along those lines. There aren't even drums purchased, and if there are going to be drums, that would be a perfect pickup, and that would help him handle it alongside the Viper, who doesn't kind of needs the Centaur Warrunner and the Death Prophet and the long range stun that does come out of the Earthshaker. I think that would probably be a much better item base. Hook is he on top of an illusion rune now, and it's been fairly passive. This game at 17 kills, very negligible experience. Still very negligible. Anybody else? These teams just very content to farm. This seems to be a regional thing. Now I've casted 3 release games for the MSI overall, and all of them have just been teams very content to just pass. We're only going to be missed by Sunstrike. He realizes now that there is some sort of vision going. This is like 2013 sort of meta for China. This is the stereotype of Chinese Dota. That you got 40 minutes of just and then they're going to flash and just see who farmed better. Well, they continue to move forward. 3 ags are being built right now on scenario, and they're presumably waiting to be aggressive until they have all 3 of those. They want ags done on the silencer. Master is going to care these illusions. They want ags done on the silencer. They want ags done on the brewmaster, and they want ags done on, is that a viper? Yeah. If ags is done, honestly, the brewmaster is a hero that you don't need to keep in this stage game, especially with the dagger up. There's no reason to just not engage. He's not primal split at all. He's farming up his ags. But he'll get the ag if he wasn't farming. Us wouldn't have otherwise been getting kills with the primal split. But he's wasting a huge chunk of time. That ags only extends his real range of efficacy a little while, and then it's completely dependent on his team being able to get enough of a lead that they can just hold better. And some time where that brewmaster really shines. He's got that split. Excuse me, those spirits are just absolutely frightening to go up against if you are sub-level 12. The first set of spirits can just run through the team. Stun 1, Cyclone 1, move in with just the damage. The straight up moving in here with immediate global silence. Basically forced to run back. Tail between his legs. Meanwhile, Zane is thinking about moving in along with the Earthshaker, and they're going to do a little bit of the push. At the very least, 4BT is trying to make some push happen, trying to open up a little bit of space. Scenario is like really ignoring the fact that they have heroes right now, that they could be active right now. Even the Nature's Prophet is not split pushed. They are going to move in for this first shot around 20 minutes, not quite as early as I was expecting. And look, right on time, level 1 Vampire Core. They realized they needed at least 1 level in order to do this. With 1 level, it should be fine. Pixels actually could heal up as they are roaching, thanks to those trees taking it out, and the Vampire Core. There's going to be the stun onto the Roshan as well, and I don't think that there's going to be any reaction for BT. They don't smell whatsoever. They do smell potential for a tower drop here, and that Prophet does have exorcism as well. Brewmaster is down. Was he silenced? He must have been silenced because he had primal split up. No, he didn't have the mana. He did not have the mana for the primal split, so he went down. He's died with enough money to buy his axe, so is a awful thing there. He could have bought his axe as he was dying. Just a quick buy. Make sure he's got it. Would have lost no unreliable gold. And that death would have basically meant nothing. But instead he didn't buy. It's pushed off the axe. Isn't able to assert himself, and they lose a tower. The Grand Aegis on the Viper. Which is nice. It's not a gameplay, like a game-making play by any means, but I guess they got something out of that tier too. Cyclones now has done actually on the death for a couple of minutes, quite a little while actually. The victory is getting a 4-staff next, and he's about 300. He does have 4-staff with 3 necro. That might is starting to become exactly what he needed. A little sugar daddy in his right hand. There's minus the left hand. Now I'm curious. Yeah, it is right hand. That's what I thought. Right hand man. Ronan, that's a little bit in terms of top of the net worth. We've got a subset where I bet about 20. It'll take a little bit longer to pay off. To my will take a lot. Exorcism is enough being forgiven. Scenario is negligible deficit. Here we go. The blink comes out. Engagement is going to be on Hook. There's going to be Life dispels a lot of stuff that was hitting Hook, but they're just done. Every huge epicenter comes out of Yaps, or he'll immediately going down. There's no follow. I think he expected to do a little bit more damage than he did. Yeah. That's silent. That's obviously dead. There's no saving him in that point. He's literally standing. Not only have already been called the primal split, but every member of the team is in the middle of 7. Full silence. Probably not going to see. Just straight up global blow to 360 heroes up around. If the two refuse to let him go, just beating them to death. That's what they did. Beyond one out. So silence now on cooldown for a solid 2 minutes. I am thinking 90 seconds from now. Xer's in a bit. He hit a tower before that silence is back. And Viper's actually have to TP back to the base to defend against Nature's Prophet. Some more pauses out here. I'm going to throw up the eyes so we can take a quick look. Economic on level 2 now for the Nature's Prophet. Blink Dagger, the Brewmaster, Blink Dagger, Wraith King, as already mentioned. Blink Dagger and Centaur War Runner, as mentioned. Force Staff has been finished on victory. Force Staff has been finished, Zane. What else is going on here? Nothing really. The Silencer is very close to his Ghanim's as well. In fact, he has it. Oh, that's not Silencer. What am I doing? Yeah, he has it in about a sequel. Alright. The score in wave kills is 6 for 4BT compared to 8 for Scenario. The Alpha Factor is just trying to farm
Radiant's
up his
middle tower is under attack.
Here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Viper defending, which means that Viper is down to Nature's round, especially considering he has 8. We're already seeing the Brewmaster fall apart. The Absol is going to come in. He does have a Fisherman 6. He gets that 1 mini stun off, and that should enough to finish up Runin. The blink away from the Wraith King should secure his safety. And the Nature's Prophet goes down, the Brewmaster goes down. They're going to move in and grab themselves to tier 2, especially once again, global silence on cooldown. And the exorcism in Hook isn't even going to wait. He's going to move in, Crypt Swarm, trying to knock down as many of these groups as he can. 30 seconds before the exorcism, but honestly, I don't even think he'll need it. And if the Viper tries to do too much defend this, he'll probably just lose his ace for nothing. The mechanism is also up on the Viper. Who's sitting on the mech for, Oh, there is not a mech carrier. Or for BT. Not sure why they've forgotten a mech carrier. But they have. And it's such a natural carrier, too. Is so naturally. Her strength gain is ridiculous for an intelligence hero. 2.2. I guess it's not that ridiculous. It seems ridiculous with her health size that they are. Of course, part of that is that she builds blood specifically to be tanky and, naturally tanks for other reasons. But when it comes to it, I don't know what they could possibly do. If they that push had a mechanism death prophet, they would wait exorcism. But instead they actually back off early. Usually early. And their global silence that back up is with Ags now as well, so Yapsor is gonna have to back up and die. It's gonna be the Brewmaster dying deep with the spirits, and there's gonna be an immediate pause. So much lag, and Zane is actually being chased, so these guys have got to be considering what the next moves are. So why don't we know what their next moves are? Viper is taking some damage here. The 3 heroes out here just trying to knock on this tower. Meanwhile, the This is a shame. Death Prophet is trying to split push it down, has the exorcism, instead of a full exorcism ahead, probably should TP back to try and use that exorcism to defend rather than aggress. So otherwise she could be losing a tier 2 and a tier 3, along with a good chunk of her team. We'll see how Scenario decides to move it, because they do not always execute the strongest in terms of their coordination. And when you're diving in like this, it's very important that your team is coordinated. The center the air Zane is going to be going taking no damage whatsoever, actually. Centaur Warrior is going to use his ultimate to get a big 2-man stun. There's going to be the Nightmare as well on South Actor. The Meteor is going to be down. That is going to be the Aegis pop on the Vibe. Now there's going to be the Bane just holding Evolution still right after his ultimate. He's torn asunder. Pixel trying to move after him. That is Bane going down. No problem at all. There's going to be the back. Death Prophet does manage to buy himself a tower, get Bow, and guess the constant as well. His exorcism back time to do a little bit of damage with this. Going out onto Victory, out of the Wraith King. Victory just going to force staff himself in, do the that electric slide stun onto the Viper, who is silent out by. I assume that is going to be an effort with the silent. That's probably much damage. It should be going down here. One more thing coming out of Pixel should be it. He's got it. He's trying to save it. There it goes. Way too long on that. So, take the Invoker. Doesn't have size. It must have been I thought I saw it, but I guess I was just getting tired because I've been casting for like 20 hours. Alright. Pixel. Getting a blade mill now. Both these teams are just being passive. Once again, I feel like it could also just be. I don't know that there's anything that can just playing this on land. Everybody is on land. They could just play it on land, take off ticket, not have it casted, and just announce the winner, move the MSI, beat it, the best Middle Eastern teams that they could possibly grab out of the region. I don't know, but of course that gets rid of a good chunk of the entire reason why you have that Middle Eastern land, right, is for the publicity, for that ability as a tournament admin to bring in a little bit of revenue as well, and of course bring in viewers. So it's a tough call for them, but these teams are obviously struggling. All right. Pixel, once again, just farming up. He's trying to rotate into a potential, or it seems he does the blade mail coming out. I think blade mail should be coming out. He's doing all right for himself. Mechanism and Ganem and Blacking are now on the Viper. Take a look at the gold lead. It's still pretty negligible. Experience leads slightly in favor of Scenario, but once that's fairly negligible. We're talking about like 2 levels across the team. Literally, like 2 levels across the team, and not even 3rd level ulti levels. No, not even 16s. Gonna jump up top just in time to see that Brewmaster go down. TP immediately coming out of the Earthshaker, trying to get himself back. And despite the fact that we have once in a while an occasional pick off, it is 11, that's 22 kills and 20. That's pretty slow. Acer's going to try to teleport away. Should be able to do so despite the Nether Toxin making it closer and closer to his. And this is starting to feel a lot like the last game that we had with Scenario versus I forget the name. It's going to be stunned out, and yeah, there's engagement, and then we're just not going to engage. Moments happening from both teams all over the map. Each one of them turns into a kill. Very rarely a kill, though, and it's just becoming an issue, especially for assuming that they would be golden up in top right now, but it hasn't really worked out that way for them. Or it's spirit. Harass Hal. It's not a whole lot to watch. It's just far around everybody. This is going to be coming out. Brewmaster, that's going to be an addition to Lifesteal coming out. Wraith King. Brewmaster is going to be a lot of life. Additional 15%, which is also nice. And Silencer. Amount of 2 kills and 5 assists, doing all around himself in that. And the nice thing about Silence is, no matter where you go, the Silence scales. The King is trying to up, and actually, see the Silence has up. Zane is going 4 step, so he will end up going nice pick. Once again, you gotta wonder, do you need global silence and animal split for that? 100% necessary, or could you have saved those for this engagement that's going to be happening in your middle now? It's already having dropped his ultimate. Now one in West is not here to help. And just a pause. Lots of luck coming here for the teams. And unplayable and unspeakable, says Acer. And we're going to have a race out. I'm actually going to take my last or some of the penultimate round of myself. 155 ping does sound particularly grotesque. And I do not envy these teams trying to play that. Alright. Well, yeah, Panda is not a hero, especially that you really want to play with a ton of lag. The Nature's Prophet, you can make it work. Wraith King basically right click anyway, so not for him as much. Basically right click anyway, doesn't really matter for him so much. The Silencer is a big hero, like has one really cool flag can do casting. 4 step, 5 step. Earthshaker. Earthshaker was in range, I just didn't see him. Okay, that makes sense. Not uses the 4 step to buy a little bit of space. The 4 staff, of course, does not interrupt channeling if you cast it on a channeling unit. It does interrupt channeling if you cast it yourself, which is why I was so confused when I thought Bane. But just 4 step self for a second. Yeah. That is such a strong ability. Just to slide around channeling units without it. Moving the Bane, for example, if he does end up deciding to throw up that Fiend script, you can move him further away from the fight or closer in towards target, usually. So if he's positioned well, it can be further away from the fight. Same thing for a Doctor into safety. You can get a Warlock and when they drop down some slows. As we just saw, get a TPing here, but it wasn't always that way. You saw a lot more 4-step Link Dagger and air raid, if I recall. TI3 they went about even, and TI4 was the Link Dagger. Mobility always pretty highly treasured, always pretty highly valued because of what it gives you in terms of initiation, reinitiation potential, but how you value that mobility is highly dependent on how you're trying to play. Scenario is valuing the Link Daggers. They have 2 of them on 3 Ags. 3 Ags, but only 3 Ags sets a boot. Yeah, they rather than prefer and 4BT. They do daggers in the nose. Roshan is going to be taken, and I'm not sure. They're pretty oblivious, so maybe that was the it's hard to tell. This is a big ticket item across an entire team. However, 75 gold or experience. Their key level 3 ultimates. Of course, it's not going to have much sooner than 4B has anything anywhere remote close to that. Let's out a quick refresher about the biggest team. Ability. Ronan is trying to do a little bit of the split pusheroo. Meanwhile, his team is doing a little bit of the Farmerino up here, playing that Harvest Moon Dota, knocking down their opponent's jungle. One creep camp at a time. Pixel all still looking to take into a semi-carry mode. Honestly, I really don't know that they need him to do this. It seems greedy to me. I think it's space for them. Better for the best. Not everything enough, though. They'll end up going everything at their expense at winning an ult. Knocks down another tier 2 tower. Global Science is going to be used along with the Primal Split. Primal Split actually be used a little prematurely there. He is going to try to move in with that stun. It does hit the Invoker, who is immediately forced staff away. Invoker taking a little bit of damage here as the Nature's Prophet does a feint. Tries to buy a little bit of space. And the Cyclone is going to throw up the Death Rod, but Earthshake is waiting with the Fissure to make sure that there is not going to be a follow-up on that. And doesn't have to count. Pick. They still do have the Aegis up on the Viper. One under tier tower remaining for them to claim before they have to try and go high ground. Presumably they're going to try and go high ground after they get Aegis. Cheat. That's what I would expect based on how Skittish just played throughout the bulk of the day. We could very well be looking at another 20 minutes of farming before they really feel comfortable trying to take the high ground. I don't know that they can really afford that. They know they pop smoke right as this Brewmaster just kind of wandered up. Very unfortunate timing for BT. Of course, they were also trying to pop smoke right on top of a very common rune or ward spot. So I don't know that it was the best call anyway. But there's always the chance that your opponents don't see that smoke if you do it on top of a ward spot that they have ward. There's 0% chance that they didn't see it. The Brewmaster is literally standing your shot away from you. Like, he's so close that you can't even get the smoke. But the force staff is not science. It actually takes away a ton of Sciencer's health. Scenario might be feeling under pressure to take a little bit of control back of their jungle, and I would not blame them ever in doing so. They probably starting to feel a little bit up, despite that they probably have the mental lead. They're sitting in excess of 5,000 gold, even out at 7,500 experience lead. They want to move through their opponent, try to get the pick.
Has been denied.
At the moment, there is no pick to be taken, and if they move in here, they're probably just going to find themselves a team fight, if anything. The mechanism goes off now to get everybody back into shape before they move into the... Do not know what is waiting for them. They don't have a whole lot of vision. They see the edge of blue in the mini-map vision coming from that, and that is going to gain. Never mind the metal pick. Bane is just going to want to get himself into jungle where they have no vision. He wasn't... Well, he might have been going to drop a ward on Roshan or something. Now I'm going to split push around the side. A scenario, the rest of the squad things are moving in on high ground actually instead of moving around toward that top lane. Immediate TP reaction coming back from the Earthshaker, who is the only one back here to defend right now. And yeah, this is going to be high ground. They're just going to do a little bit of damage. I don't expect them to fully commit. Actually, they're going to commit with no, it's start 6-9. I don't know what to say. Man, Brewmaster is getting pretty low. He has signs out. He has, well, not actually getting that low. Bob. He does have Primal Split, and this is a much more active high ground than honestly it should. There's the global silence going out. The BKB is up on Victory, so Victory is going to move in. He does have the Force Staff, and he is going to go ahead and take down Pixel. Not really a prime target here, though. They are going to now try to move on. The Brewmaster is going to use that Primal Split. Victory linking on the Viper, who has the Aegis. He's not a prime target either. The Fiend Script goes on the Viper, who used the BKB before Aegis, and will end up going down, or maybe it can't even make him prime.
Middle barracks.
Now,
Radiant's barracks have fallen. Dire's tower is under
Viper and BKB before Aegis, and they can't afford that painful. Honestly, I don't there's nothing for do at this point. They are dumb. There's only one back. It's on the death. He does not have an ult for 80 seconds. And it should just be the right click these trees and a little bit from the here as well. Not hurt. This top crumble, these red crumble, and that should be a good game. I don't even know that this is necessary. 3 of your heroes who is Poker? Yeah, 3 heroes are dead. All of them can come back, arguably to negligible effect. You're up against 4 heroes who, for the most part, have full health. Viper is still using his ultimate because the Ganon gives him as much as he wants, as often as he wants. What can you say about it? Dan, this is looking big. If this is not the G situation right here, of this, if so, put their butts in gear and make it happen. Last game, they didn't. They just dragged it out through the mud, unlimited to anything. I'm really seeing them committing to this tier 3 tower here in the bottom lane, while they have all the creeps up. Anyway, I even kind of expect them to start aggressing on this. So Death Prophet buys back, and they just kind of back. I know they don't necessarily need to. I'm going to back camera out just a little bit so we can see a little bit more of what's going on here as they move in on the tower. They're taking a little bit of damage onto it. No profits so far. There's going to be the 4 onto the Invoker, and they just trying to zone out. Doesn't have minus as well, so we can choose one of these creeps. Trying to make the push that much more effective. Evolution is getting very low. He's going to get maxed. He doesn't have full charges, so he throws down the Thunderclap. He should probably just blink away. He's not really needed right now. The Treants could probably do this on their own, but with the Viper especially here, and the Nature's Prophet, this is trouble. Pixel's just going to try to dive, and he's going to back himself away now. 2 Rex down. If you're 4 BT, I don't really know what hoping on. Hoping, wishing for a miracle. They are suddenly in excess of 10,000 golden deficit. They don't look like they're going to be able to come back. Real big items are starting to come out. Or several real big items are starting to come out for some. Or they do just grab Pixel, which not entirely surprising. About 3 seconds before his blade, and he pops it. Managed to get that one little consolation prize. 1 tick up going off at your opponents. At this point, I can pretty much wait for their ults to be up. Move GG. Just push for the GG. I should be back up actually very soon, within 3 minutes and 20 seconds. With me. So Sonar can win for Aegis Cheese. Well, I expect them to wait for Aegis before they tried the high ground, but they didn't really need to, as it turned out. Shiva's is now a remaster, so he's going to nuke and slow. Plus that armor just makes him so ridiculously tanky. Yep. Wow, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Run this Roshan wait. Not all the time in the world now. Not all the time in the world. If they give complete free farm to BT for a long time, they'll end up falling behind. But they only have 3 minutes to wait for this cheese. There's enough of that. You. They are. They're just kind of collapsing into their ancient camps, making anything happen. But this end out mid lane, get a little bit of farm from these creeps. But they're just not worth very much. 19 or so a pop means that Bane's items are going to be coming out very slowly if he's majority farming this out. Really, the only hero who's going to be able to farm this is going to be out there this game. But we have been seeing a little bit more of him, at least in the north. 1 minute and 50 seconds left on Roshan. That is probably what the game is waiting for in order to move forward. Well, maybe a haste rune is going to be enough. Actually, Fire can get down here and grab it really fast. And he was waiting. He didn't want to dive it. He's going to turn back around. And
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
With that, they should know. Mimikru's Cold Snap left footprints as a friendly unit from Scenario.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, he's a turtle. I'm going to move here on the widely signs. However, the global signs does come out of Scenario. Going to do context on the pin. He's in the wrong place, wrong time. Throws a blade mail and almost knocked out half of Bane's health. Probably should have saved that blade mail for the second life. Doesn't really end up making a difference, honestly. One way or the other. In Scenario, once again, giving away 2 free kills. And the cooldown silencer is he didn't use it. I could have sworn I heard it. Could have sworn. Oh, refresher. Why? Okay. This is another thing I don't get sometimes. Players at this general skill do like that. That amateur level, the aspiring semi-pros. Every now and then you see one of them get a refresher, cast a spell, hit refresher so that you will have the spell, and then not use it. The refresher or take longer to refresh than the ultimate coming out of the silencer. So if you're not sure that you're going to use it right away, there's no point in casting the refresher orb. Actually, yeah, it's 30 seconds less time to wait. Or say it's plus cheese. Well, I assume for the last big fight of the game, unless there's a huge fight here, an absolute turning around. Do a really great choke point, actually. You got the big stun coming out, the Earthshake plus the choke point block. They have the Stun Strike. They also have Tornado potential. The Exorcism itself is able to do it in. They don't have a they don't have the timer marked down, it doesn't seem. Okay, maybe not as obvious as it seems. They throw in the Stun Strike. Okay. What are they doing? I don't understand. They're going to go ahead and try to push up top racks, but they're going to and no TP silencer, no TP on the Viper, so they very well could actually grab this tower, but no, they're just gonna play the safety game, which is when for the opportunity to not take a risk there. They gave away Aegis for Sean Gold and experience. They gave it away for the golden opportunity to not take a risk and basically do nothing. So, I really want to do if you're for. You just missed your only real opportunity to take a strong choke point team fight, probably for the rest of the game. Unless they drag this out pretty long. Not a lot of choke points up here on the high ground where they're going to be making those fights. He is going to try to go out for the Sprout. He will end up going to the Primal Split as well. Viper is just throwing out the auto attacks, and the BKB up on the Bane probably isn't going to make too much of a difference. Trying to get away, and the Wraith King's going to blink after him and chase him. Meanwhile, the Viper's trying to find anyone he can. There's going to be the Viper striking out, but the Wraith King's going to secure that kill now. There are going to be charging on the high ground. Tree Ants are called, and the Exorcism is there, trying to be a little bit more defensive, getting as much as he can. However, he does have to keep his distance just to be safe. Pixel sitting with a whole belt now. Dagger and the blade pretty well from himself, considering he started as support. But boy, he is sitting at 5, 6, and 7 as a Wraith King. You don't usually want to. There are a lot of situations where negative Wraith King is sorry. I would argue that this is not one of them. He is just trying to push in. He throws up the Blaze Wraith Fire Blast and considers actually diving in very deep after the Earthshaker. Then he turns around, realizes it is not his best. I only need one, or probably GG is called. Hook is very tanky. He's got that hard up. He's got the soul booster up as well. Very difficult for him to be taken down. He does manage to get that Shiva's wall in the cyclone, which is pretty effective. He does not have an ulti though. Great Fire Blast is down. Centaur is ground, be all over the place, but he shall be reincarnated very soon. A lot of damage being splashed on the Hook, who is going to be blinked around the wrong side of, and Pixel is going to try to chop him down and not quite get him. He is to the fountain just in time. But so what? That Silencer, who then immediately gets one up. So maybe my best call to die. Pixel going to go down. Meanwhile, the team is just trying to take down these racks and base and the G all that. So GG on 4B team, not really able to play through. We're going to go ahead and say